Welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video, and Liverpool seem to be starting to have a stronger and stronger relationship with FC Porto because we are looking to sign one of their players, and if he could be as successful as Luis Diaz, then Liverpool are in for a fantastic transfer. And this player is the Portuguese international Otavio, who also has Brazilian heritage. And Otavio is a fantastic attacking midfielder who can play as a left winger as well. And in this video we will take a deeper look at what he could bring to Liverpool and what he has done recently in his career. So if you are excited about these videos, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the bell notification so you never miss every upload. And the A Bola newspaper, which is a very credible Portuguese newspaper, is reporting that Liverpool are set to rival Manchester United and Newcastle for the Portugal midfielder Otavio. And what they are saying is that Otavio is surely going through the best moments of his career, as evidenced by the statistics related to his performances both in Europe and also for the Portuguese national team. In a World Cup qualifier, when Portuguese beat Turkey 3-1, Otavio scored and got an assist, and he started both games for Portugal when they qualified for the World Cup. They beat North Macedonia 2-0, where Diogo Jota got an assist and Otavio started that game as well. And the A Bola newspaper is saying that Liverpool scouts have been watching Otavio for Porto, and of course he is in the notebook of many scouts and many big clubs: Manchester United, Liverpool and Newcastle. Clubs with an economic power higher than FC Porto. They want the player for next season as his characteristics suit these clubs. And of course Otavio has a 60 million euro release clause, but I think Liverpool could get him for a considerably cheaper price. And Otavio is not as young as Luis Diaz, he's a little bit older, he's 27 years old, but that still means that he is still in the prime of his career. And in all competitions, Otavio has played 40 games this season. He scored 5 goals and got 12 assists, so he's not as prolific as Luis Diaz, but as a midfielder or as a winger you don't necessarily need to be, and he is not playing as a forward player for Porto all the time, but 5 goals and 12 assists is still a pretty respectable number. But as I said, he's not a prolific goal scorer, he's more of a creator. He always had like 3 times or twice as many assists as goals. I mean, for last season in the league he got 3 goals and 8 assists, the previous season 2 goals and 9 assists, and the previous season 3 goals and 6 assists. And his record for Portugal is pretty impressive. He has 2 goals and an assist in just 4 games. He was a kind of a late bloomer, but now that his form is so good for Porto, he had to be called up for Portugal, and what a brilliant decision that was by the Portuguese coach, because as I said, he scored and assisted against Turkey. He started off his career at Internacional in the Brazilian league, and then he signed for Porto, where he was loaned out to Guimarães, but since the 2016-17 season he has been playing for Porto regularly. And if Liverpool are going head-to-head with Man United and Newcastle, what Liverpool need to avoid is a bidding war, because Liverpool don't really want to pay over the odds for a player of Otavio's caliber. But if it comes to Otavio choosing his next club, surely Liverpool are by far absolute miles away clear of Manchester United and Newcastle as Otavio's first choice preference, because Liverpool are regularly fighting for the Premier League, for the Champions League, and in Man United not even in the top 4 at the moment, and Newcastle are just trying to build their club up at the moment. They are nowhere near challenging for any trophies anytime soon. And what is Otavio's biggest pro for Liverpool is that not only can he play as a right winger, as a centre forward, as a left winger, but he can play as an attacking midfielder as well. So he's so versatile. Pretty much apart from defensive midfield, he can play in any position in midfield and in attack for Liverpool, and that surely makes him a very, very good and very attractive option for Liverpool. So Otavio's release clause is around £50 million, and At the moment, his current contract expires in 2025, so Liverpool will have to buy his contract out basically. And Otavio is a solid player. He's an attacking midfielder. He has scored 5 goals and got 12 assists in 40 appearances this season. Otavio has also been averaging a player rating of 7.3 on Who Scored in this season. And the Porto president recently spoke out on Otavio, and they were very happy to tie him down to a long-term contract. He said, "May you, Otavio, continue to contribute your effort and your value to FC Porto's victories. Get ready, because we will have many games to win this year and many games to make the envious clubs who failed to sign the attacking midfielder even more jealous." At the moment, I can only see Liverpool signing Otavio if Salah, Mane or Firmino, one of the front three, is being sold, because otherwise we don't really need to spend £50 million on an attacking player. But if we could sell maybe Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain for like 20-30 million, then Otavio could be a decent replacement. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain's career has pretty much stagnated in the last couple of years because of many injuries, and also he has been in and out of the Liverpool side. And I don't think Otavio is worth £50 million at the moment. But if we could get him for 30-35 million, that would be a really decent price. And even though Otavio featured for the Brazilian national team's under-20 side, he recently switched his nationality to Portugal a year ago, and he made a good decision, because for the Brazil national team he would have no chance getting called up, but for the Portuguese national team he has been called up, and he delivered basically a match-winning display against Turkey. His most frequent position this season has been as a right midfielder in this campaign. A number 10 role also suits Otavio's game, considering his creative spark, his vision and his defense splitting through balls from an advanced midfield slot. Liverpool never opted for an attacking midfielder since Philippe Coutinho's controversial move to Barcelona. However, the arrival of Otavio would see them have one in their ranks going forward. He has scored 24 goals and laid on 61 assists in 228 appearances for his current club, and the all-round ability he holds should enrich the English Giants high up the pitch. And if a contract cannot be agreed with Salah, then Liverpool probably will listen to offers for Mo Salah in the summer, and Jurgen Klopp must explore other options to bolster the front line, and it remains to be seen whether this speculation gathers pace in the coming days regarding Otavio. But I just wanted to give you guys a rundown of what kind of a player he is and what he could bring for Liverpool if Liverpool end up losing one of their current front three players. And I was really sad and heartbroken for some of the Liverpool players who will miss out on going to the World Cup. Mo Salah is the most high profile player, probably alongside Erling Haaland of Norway, but Luis Diaz also missed out. Colombia finished in like 6th or 7th place in the World Cup qualifiers. Ecuador finished in 4th, which is a massive achievement for them. And I think Peru, with their last match day win against Paraguay, who had nothing to play for, Peru won 2-0. They sneaked into the 5th place. And even though Colombia also won, Luis Diaz didn't score or assist in that game, but Colombia, even though they won, they missed out on in the top 5. The 5th place team plays a World Cup qualifier playoff to make it into the World Cup. But Luis Diaz posted this on his social media: "Since I was little, I dreamed of wearing this shirt and wearing it with pride in a World Cup. It hurts too much not to achieve it. I keep wanting to fight for this dream. On my part, you will have my commitment, and know that I will leave everything to achieve that goal, and we will have revenge, hopefully." So Luis Diaz is really heartbroken, and you can imagine how massive of a dream playing in a World Cup for your country is for a South American footballer. And Luis Diaz started in a very humble beginnings. He's from one of the poorest regions in Colombia, where they didn't even have clean water or always great food to eat every day during his childhood. So he has come very, very far from very low down, and he has achieved a lot in his career. And I just hope that Luis Diaz will win many more trophies at Liverpool, and hopefully Salah and Luis Diaz will channel this disappointment and turn into motivation and turn into hunger to win more trophies with Liverpool this season. And I mean, overall, Luis Diaz is having a brilliant career for Colombia. He already played 35 matches in total, scoring 8 goals for the Colombia national team. And he's only 25 years old, so he can play many more games for Colombia. And Colombia is usually a regular at the World Cups. Well, they have qualified 5 times in total, so maybe not a regular, but they have been to a World Cup 5 times before. First time 1962, then in 1990, 94 and 98. Sorry, that's 6 times that Colombia have been to the World Cup. So then there is a big gap from 98 to 2014. But they have been in the past 2 World Cups, and they went actually to the quarterfinals in 2014. And that was, I think, where James Rodriguez burst onto the scene, and they have won 4 out of their 5 games at the World Cup in that tournament, scoring 12 goals and only conceding 4. And James Rodriguez ended up as the top scorer in the 2014 World Cup. And James Pearce spoke about where Liverpool could revamp their squad in the summer. He said Milner is obviously considering his options with the age he is at, thinking whether or not he will feature much next season. Jordan Henderson has a few years left in him. Fabinho will be a mainstay in the Liverpool midfield for years to come. And Thiago is over 30 now. We spoke earlier about Keita and Oxlade-Chamberlain. That's an intriguing one. What do you do there? Do you give out new contracts this summer, or do you move them on? Or do you accept they will leave for nothing next year? And my personal opinion, I would extend the contract of Naby Keita, and I would sell Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain in the summer with 1 year left on his contract, so we can still get a bit of money out of him. Naby Keita, I think, is still a world-class player. He just needs to stay fit. The midfield is an area I see Liverpool reinforcing this summer, because the likelihood is that one of those midfielders that we mentioned will leave, if maybe not 2. And these comments highlight why Liverpool need to sign a midfielder in the near future. The reality is it's highly likely that Liverpool will lose at least 2 midfielders, maybe this summer or at least in the next 1 year. Liverpool never really replaced Gini Wijnaldum. And yes, Liverpool have 2 youngsters, Harvey Elliott and Curtis Jones, coming through the ranks, but I would like to see a midfielder, and I think I can say we would like, as Liverpool fans, to see at least 1 senior midfielder signed who can score goals, get assists, create chances, and also who has a great engine on him, somebody like Wijnaldum. But it's very tough to find a player like that who would fit into the Liverpool system. And also finally, Liverpool announced that they will meet Manchester United in a high-profile pre-season friendly in Thailand, more specifically in Bangkok, as the Premier League clubs go back on tour to the Far East. And now that some COVID restrictions have been lifted in many countries, Liverpool will go on these very lucrative pre-season tours, because they will play in a 55,000 stadium, but probably because Liverpool and Man United have so many fans in Thailand, they could fill a stadium with 150,000 people, because the last time Liverpool were there was actually 5 years ago, and Liverpool get quite a lot of money for just this one pre-season friendly. But I'm sure that if Liverpool go out to Thailand, we will maybe have other friendlies in Asia as well. And Liverpool fans can be very happy that Trent Alexander-Arnold is back in full training today, reported by This is Anfield, and he is back in full training ahead of their game against Watford. So he could be back for the Watford game, but I'm sure that he will be back for the Man City game next weekend, which is potentially a title decider. But we will play Benfica as well in the Champions League in midweek as well. So really big week coming up for Liverpool, really big month of April coming up for Liverpool, and I will be covering it on this channel, so stay tuned and thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Good night.